Welcome to SV Union High School and Junior College.
Welcome students, Standard 6th, Subject History, Chapter number 7, India during the Maurya period. Today we are going to see about this lesson, and in this lesson we are going to see the two main points, that is 7.1 the Greek Emperor Alexander's invasion and 7.2 the Mauryan Empire. 7.1 The Greek Emperor Alexander's invasion. Alexander, the Greek emperor, invaded India's northwestern frontier in 326 BCE. Crossing the Indus, that is Sindhu river, he reached Takshashila. On the way, he met with forceful oppositions from the local Indian kings. So when he was crossing the India's boundary, that time he faced lot of oppositions. That means he had to fight with the local Indian kings. He defeated them all and successfully reached the Punjab. You can see the picture of Emperor Alexander over here. But what happened, children? In this invasion, his army had to suffer severe hardships, due to which his soldiers were eager to go home. They had to really face a lot of hardships, as India was not familiar with them. Means they were not knowing the places properly, and that is why it was really very much difficult for them to survive there. So the soldiers rebelled against Alexander. They rebelled means what? They went against Alexander because they didn't want, but Alexander wanted them to stay here. But the soldiers were not ready to stay there, and that is why they rebelled. They went against Alexander, and Alexander was forced to turn back. He was not happy to turn back, but due to his soldiers, the soldiers were not ready to be there. The soldiers were not ready to stay there, and that is why they were being forced to turn back. So he appointed Greek officers to administer the conquered territories called as satraps. So what do you mean by satrap? Satrap means the officers which are being appointed to look after and to rule the conquered territories, the territories which are being conquered by that king. So for that they keep a officer to look after that territory. So that officer is called as satraps. So he appointed Greek officers to administer the conquered territories called as satraps. He started his return journey, but he died on the way back in 323 BCE at Babylon, which is in Iraq now. Alexander's campaign led to an increase in the trade between India and other countries. So Alexander's campaign means Alexander, who came from Greece to India. So their culture came into India. So because of this, it led to an increase in the trade between India and other countries. That means what? The people, those who were the officer, the satraps who were staying here, they were importing and also exporting the things from India to Greece and from Greece to India. So that is why it led to an increase in the trade between India and other countries. Greek culture influenced Indian art, giving rise to the Gandhara school of art. The Greek kings minted coins. On one side, the coin had a picture of the king who had minted the coin, and on the other side, a picture of a Greek god name was also being written of the king on that coin. So you can see the picture in the next slide. So children, you can see here the Alexander silver coin. On both the sides you can see here. See, on the right hand side you can see the picture of Alexander. The name of that king is also written, that is Alexander, and it is written in their language, Greek language. And on the left hand side you can see the picture of the Greek god. So Alexander coins were of the same type. Later Indian kings also started minting similar coins. Now we'll proceed further. You can see the picture of Chandragupta Maurya over here. Chandragupta Maurya, he was the founder of the Mauryan Empire. So people were tired of the tyrannical rule of the Nanda kings of Magadha kingdom. So who was the king? Who was the last king? Children, in the previous lesson you have learnt. Dhananda was the last king of the Nanda dynasty. So people were really tired of them because they used to not treat the people properly. And that is why the people were very much tired of them. And due to that, Chandragupta Maurya, he brought an end to the Nanda dynasty and established his own rule in Magadha, that is in 325 BCE. 325 BCE. Chandragupta Maurya won Avanti and Saurashtra and began to extend the boundaries of his empire. After Alexander's death, a struggle for power began among the satraps. So after before this you have seen that the satraps, that means the officers which have to administer and look after the conquered territories, they were called as satraps. So the various places which were being occupied by Alexander in India, they had a fight between them. After Alexander's death, a struggle for power began among the satraps. Now what do you mean by satraps? Satraps means the officers which were being kept to administer and take care of the conquered territories of India. So Alexander had conquered various territories in India. So to look after those territories, he had appointed some Greek officers and they were called as satraps. But after Alexander's death, there was a fight between them for power. Seleucus Nicator was Alexander's general, and so he became the king of Babylon after Alexander's death. Seleucus Nicator invaded the northwest frontier region of India and the Punjab. Chandragupta Maurya successfully resisted and defeated Seleucus Nicator. So as Chandragupta Maurya was the Indian king, and that is why Seleucus Nicator, they had a fight, and in this fight Chandragupta Maurya, he successfully resisted them, he opposed them and he defeated them. That is whom he defeated? The Greeks, or we can say Seleucus Nicator, which brought the northwest region of Kabul, Kandahar and Herat under their control. So Chandragupta Maurya defeated Seleucus Nicator. That is why the region which were being occupied by Seleucus Nicator, it came under the control of the Mauryan Empire. And which were those regions? Those regions were Kabul, Kandahar and Herat. That means the regions which are there in Afghanistan. So some of the regions of Afghanistan came under the Mauryan Empire. Now Megasthenes, Seleucus Nicator's ambassador. Megasthenes was Seleucus Nicator's ambassador. So he stayed back at Chandragupta Maurya's court and he wrote a book, and the name of the book was Indica. In this book is an important source for the study of India during the Mauryan period. So through this book we will come to know about the Mauryan period, about their administration. You can see the picture of Megasthenes over here on the right hand side, children. Then there is an inscription stating that Emperor Chandragupta Maurya had built a dam called Sudarshan near Junagadh in Gujarat state. You can see on the right hand side, there is a stone on which the inscriptions are there. Inscription means the carved matter is called as inscription. Chandragupta Maurya was succeeded by his son Bindusara. So Bindusara was the son of Chandragupta Maurya. So after Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusara sat on the throne. He ruled the kingdom and he administered the kingdom of Magadha. and Bindusara was succeeded by his son Ashoka. Ashoka was the son of Bindusara and he succeeded the throne. Emperor Ashoka succeeded the throne in 273 BCE. Before he became the emperor or before he became the king, Ashoka was the governor of Takshashila and Ujjain. Before he came to the throne, before he became an emperor, he was the governor of Takshashila and Ujjain. So he had successfully crushed the revolt at Takshashila. After becoming the emperor, he launched a campaign against the state of Kalinga, which is today's Odisha state, and then conquered it. Ashoka's empire, you can see in the right side I have given you the map. Ashoka's empire, the shaded portion, was being occupied by the Mauryan Empire. So we can say more than half of the part, means 3/4 part of India was being occupied by the Mauryan Empire. You can see the dark portion that was being all occupied by the Mauryan Empire. Ashoka's empire extended from Afghanistan in the northwest. So you can see Afghanistan, where you can see Hindu Kush mountain, and there is Afghanistan in the northwest, and Nepal in the north, to Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh in the south, and from Bengal in the east to Saurashtra in the west. So you can see most of the territories of India were being occupied by the Mauryan Empire. Students, now we will stop here and we will see the remaining part of this lesson, that is chapter number 7, India during the Mauryan period, in the next video, that is chapter number 7, India during the Mauryan period, part 2. Thank you.